Hi, this is Tyson, and today we're going to be using functional composition and React so that we can use all of our higher order components together in a pretty non-messy way. So the first thing we're going to do, you see in our details view that we created a while ago, we're getting a person, and so instead of creating the person inside the view, which is kind of messy, we actually want to do this outside of the view. So we're going to take this out, and we're going to make a new higher order component, and we'll call it with person. So of course we'll need to import React, and then we will make our higher order components. We'll call it with person. And of course the first thing a higher order component takes is the component that it renders into, and then we'll make a class. Well, actually we don't even need a class. This is a pretty simple one. So we'll just need the props, and then here we're getting the person already, so we can just return the component, spread all of the existing props over it, and then we can say person equals person. So this is taking the person that we were getting off of our props before, and we're just adding that as a prop to the component that's passed in. So then we can export that. So we can export default with person. And now if we go back into our details view, we can import that. So we can say with person from higher order components with person. And we will, we'll take with person and wrap it around our details. And then we can actually take this part out, and we can actually even take all of this out and just have it be an explicit or an implicit return. And now instead of person on these 4 places, we have a props.person, because the person is being passed in through our props. So we'll modify all of those places to say props.person, save it. Unexpected token on 813 of details. Oh yes, so we need to make sure we actually name that import. Reload that. So an unexpected closing tag. Person name. Oh, somehow I replaced this. Alright, so then save that, refresh it, and now we have exactly what we had before. So if I click into this, I'm zeroing in on the person that it's on, exactly like I was before. But you can see how, like, as we're adding these different parameters together, it can get kind of messy, because you're just wrapping one higher order component with another, and it's not unusual to have quite a few of these, like, around your final render component. And so you definitely don't want this, because this is going to get to be kind of a huge mess. So the basic idea with function composition is basically you're taking lots of different functions, and you're taking the return value from each one and passing it into the next one. So basically, it's the equivalent of if we had a function called a, which would take with person, or actually no, function a would take this. It would take with person and wrap it around details, and passing that into a. Passing a into with people, that's basically the same thing as composing it. So you're just taking one after another, but the idea is that you would have a function wrapping around everything that composes it. Luckily, we're already using the Ramda library, so I can just import R from Ramda. Actually, forget, but we weren't using R. I'll just import compose from Ramda. You can do it either way. You can do r.compose, or you can just import compose directly. So I'm going to take compose, and the first arguments in compose are all of your functions you want to compose, and then the final argument after all the other ones, which can be as many as you want, is the actual final thing that is like initialized when you compose. So details is our final thing, and then we're just going to wrap it with all of our higher order components. So if I save that, I get an unexpected error. That's on line 26, and that is because I have 2 parentheses. Okay, so now I've got my new higher order component wrapping both of them. So compose is wrapping with people and with person, and it finally outputs the details. And this is a good, nice, scalable way to compose multiple functions together. So I could keep wrapping this. I could have like with persons, friends, you know, whatever you need as your props, and just wrap all your higher components like that, and then finally export it. So thanks for watching, and hope you learned something.